All right, now that your table of contents should be set up, you are going to start labeling parts of your table of contents in your table of contents. So you need to look at the last page that you have as your table of contents. So when I was numbering my pages, I went through and I have 200 total pages in my composition notebook. Well, when I was numbering them, I ended up on page 7 with my last page number. So now keep that page number 7 or whatever your last page number of your table of contents ended up on. You're going to fill out your table of contents by looking at pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in my case, page 7. I'm going to write table of contents on the line for page 1. Now here's where you can choose a couple different options. Your table of contents will have titles in every single one of these lines. The table of contents titles are going to be the only section of our table of contents that's going to take up a huge amount of pages. So I'll let you choose. If you want to write table of contents under each line or in each line of your table of contents, you are more than welcome to. Just to save some time, what I'm going to do is find my last page number. And I'm actually going to draw an arrow to represent or to my table of contents up here to show that my table of contents takes up all of these pages and it ends on page 7. So then page 8 is where I'm going to pick up on my first page in my composition notebook with information regarding reading. Now, on this first page, you are going to open up your notebook and you are going to have your packet that you were given that has the picture up on top, projects for any novel. We're going to set up the beginning of our composition notebook with all of the pages in this packet here. So this may be a little bit long of a video, but this is so important because we're going to be using these pages in almost every unit that we do in reading. So this first one I'm going to rip off. And when I rip it off, it means that that's going to be on this page here. So because every page needs to have a title, I'm going to write the title for this one. I'm going to change it a little bit from what's on the picture here. I'm going to write Independent Reading Book Projects. Okay, once I have a title written on my page, I need to make sure I fill out my table of contents for that page. So I know that page 8 in my composition notebook may be different for yours, and that's fine. Page 8 in my composition notebook is the Independent Reading Book Projects page. So then when I flip back to my table of contents, I know I'm going to fill out page 8 as Independent Reading Book Project.
Mr. Stingley to the office, Mr. Stingley.
All right, then I'm going to flip back to my page 8 and let's start cutting out the length. So this page is pretty easy. All you're going to do is take this picture and you're going to cut it all the way around the outside. And this is the only thing going on this page. So once you have it cut out, you're going to glue it onto this page and you can choose where you want to put it on the page. I'm going to put it right in the middle. So I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to glue the back side in. Then I'm going to stick it on. And that's it for that page. So this page will, when it's all done, look like this. You're going to have your title up on top of the page, Independent Reading Book Projects, and then the information for that right here. And we will go over these later on. Right now, we are just focusing on getting them set up so that when we do get to these, we have them all ready to go. Now, the next page in our composition notebook is going to be titled Journal Guidelines. So we have Journal Guidelines as our title. I'm going to flip over to my table of contents and know that page 9 is my journal guidelines page. And this does not have anything to cut out and glue onto this page. We are going to do some writing on this page. So when you are done filling out your table of contents for this page, go ahead and flip back to the journal guidelines. So a couple guidelines for this composition notebook as we go through the year. So I'm going to start by labeling number 1. The most important rule is that every page needs a title. Okay, every page needs a title. That is journal guideline number 1. Okay, so please copy that down. Feel free to pause the video as you copy it down if you need a little more time to write. I'm going to move on to journal guideline number 2. Number 2 is fill out your table of contents after writing each title on each page. Okay, this is going to be so important as we go on through the year, when we're flipping back to previous pages that we've already done. Journal guideline number 3 is mistakes are okay. You probably saw me make a couple of mistakes as I was counting and labeling my page numbers in my table of contents, and that's totally fine. What I would do is, because of this, we're going to use pencil for the majority of our pages on there. Now, there may be times where I ask you to use a pen or a colored pencil, but let's stick to pencil, regular pencil, mechanical, or your traditional pencil, just because we want to make sure that we can do this if we need to.